What is going on, everyone? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. For all those that aren't familiar with who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I have one of the largest and fastest growing private free trading communities out there. It's called TechBot Solutions. It's the third link in the description if you guys would like to join. We have a little bit over 100,000 members. We started it a little bit over a year ago, and we would love to be a part of your success. Again, it's a free group. You could always join. You could always leave if it's not a group that you find suitable to you. But most importantly, for those that don't know what a Sunday stock talk is, it's when we come together as a group, kind of my group TechBuds, right? And we talk about the stocks that we're going to be looking forward to for this upcoming week. So we kind of come together on a weekly basis. We kind of recap on kind of what to look for, what not to look for, what to pay attention to, and kind of some just a series of like kind of so we're all kind of in the same mindset when it comes down to this upcoming week. I can hear you guys whispering over there. But yeah, hope you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. I'm actually going to say what's up to a good amount of you, so let's actually do that. Let's go. Let's see. What's up? So for all those that are tuning in right now, oh, some of them are asking where my neck pillow is. For all those that are tuning in right now, how many of you is this? If this is your first time, I want you to comment this is your first time. But if this is if you're a regular and you come in every single Sunday and you look forward to trading or look forward to Mondays, then say, you know, I'm a, what is it called? I'm a regular, right? And that hat, I know I haven't been wearing my hat much anymore and my neck pillow. I wore my neck pillow like for the full time when I was in Miami. Oh, we got a good amount of people here. There we go. What's up? What's up? First time, third time, regular. There we go. Oh my goodness. Guys, you guys are amazing. LPP, let's go. What's going on, guys? And for all those that aren't looking forward to Mondays, and this is probably because you're just getting introduced into the stock market, I can reassure you that if you're struggling to ever wake up Monday morning, or if you're struggling to be motivated for Mondays, I can guarantee you that even if you start simulation trading or start paper trading, that I think we can all vouch for that we love Mondays because it's new opportunity. And for those that aren't, what's going on, Don? Let's let's hear the LPP members. So for all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, let's do this. So I'm going to do part of TechBuds, and I'm going to do Learn Plan Profit. So for all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit that are tuning in right now, I want you to put LPP. So you guys can put LPP for those that are tuned in. For all those that are part of TechBuds and solely TechBuds, feel free to put TechBuds. I want to see the difference. So we got Daniel, we got Michael. There we go, LPP game. Oh, dang. Oh, we got a good amount. LPP members are killing it right now. There we go, LPP. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got it. Oh, all right. TechBuds has taken over. TechBuds has taken over. Oh, wait, no. We're getting it back. Oh. All right, guys. But hope you guys are all having a beautiful Sunday. Let's kind of get right to it. So for the first about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to be doing breakdowns on stocks that I see value in. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate a majority of the time of this Sunday stock talk. And for all those that tune on in, to whoever calls out a stock in the ticker symbol format or the ticker call out format, I will be breaking down a stock based on your suggestion. I want to make sure that you guys make sure that you understand that everything has to be called out. If you want me to break down a stock, it has to be called out in the ticker symbol format. And if it's not, then you know I am not going to break it down for you. Pretty much, that's what it means. But I want to make sure that we focus on two things. So before you call something out, if you can look at that chart on the 180-day 4-hour chart and ask yourself, is it a good deal and is it actively trending up? And the reason that I'm saying that is because we want to make sure that we focus on, oh, whoa, what happened? That was weird. We want to make sure that we focus on stocks that are, actively trending up for this upcoming week, and this upcoming week only. So let's go ahead and get right back to it. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's see. Again, I am not taking any call outs right now. I'm going to be doing my breakdowns, and then, yeah, that's what I just said. So Jordan says, thanks for the $300 Friday, Ricky. Paid me back for my sign up in one day. Oh, that's super cool. Well, that's a lot quicker than, and I'm being just completely honest. If you're able to make back your $300 investment from LPP back in one day, that's amazing to hear. Again, that's not something that we want to say that it's going to happen for everyone, right? Everyone experiences success in a different rate. But based on the overall feedback that we've received for Learn, Plan, Profit and TechBit Solutions, right, we just like to provide fun and simple platforms that motivate one another and make it clear and simple on how it is to successfully invest in the stock market. So let's go ahead and start doing some breakdowns. I actually had someone ask me, hey, what do you think about JCP, right? JCP, I think it's showing signs of a descending pattern based on the past couple of resistance levels. It tends to be right around that SMA indicator. So asking myself, right, is this a good deal? When trying to identify that, I could see that it's very close to this SMA line, which is normally where it gets rejected. So it just wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to try to buy right now. Just because it's actively trending up does not mean that it's a good investment. Something that you want to ask yourself is, understand the pattern and understand the overall direction of what it is that you are investing in. And this is a descending pattern. It continues to make lower lows and lower highs as well. So with that understanding, when is it most likely going to be a good time to sell? And based on previous patterns, it would be sometime soon based on it normally getting rejected at around the SMA indicator. Does it mean 100% that it has to get rejected? No, it just means that based on previous patterns it has. And that's why as of right now, I would label JCP more as a sell unless it continues to show signs of an uptrend pattern and the overall SMA is acting as a resistance right now. But then if it starts and begins to act as a support, right, and if it pushes up and then pulls back and bounces like it's done before and then validates it as a support, then that would make much more sense. So just a quick little breakdown for you guys. So SFIX is one that was talked about due to its earnings report. It was able to push right through the resistance. So this is very simple, and this is why I love doing these Sunday stock talks, because you guys get to hear my thought process. Forget about the stocks that I'm talking about, because even if you watch this maybe a week later, these stocks might not be relevant. But how to identify if something is a good deal and a good time to buy, or if something is a little bit more on the overbought side. So as of right now for SFIX, I would label this to be more of a sell. And the reason why is because I could see that it's more on the overbought side. I could see that it's very overextended. I could see that there was a huge push of volume and demand. And after that demand and after that hype dies out, there's most likely going to be a pullback. Doesn't mean 100% that there's going to, but just based on previous patterns, it would make a lot of sense for this thing to start getting rejected. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set an alert. I'm going to set an alert once it starts breaking below $24 and just follow up with it. As of right now, do I want this one to be in my active watch list? I don't see a lot of value anymore on SFIX anymore, but what I am going to do is, just in case there's a break of resistance, I'm going to set an alert at the break above $26. Because anything can happen. My cursor is not wanting to work today. There we go. I'm going to remove it from there. There we go. So I had a good amount of people ask me about DRIP. DRIP has been showing some signs of consolidation. I still think it's showing signs of a descending pattern. I do agree that it has been showing signs of potential reversals or reversal pattern, right? So looking at this at the 20-day, 1-hour chart, we could see that it's starting to consolidate a little bit more. It's not making lower lows anymore. We could even go back to the 180-day, 4-hour and see that this aggressive descending pattern is no longer relevant. It's kind of starting to flatline right now. But does that mean that it's the best swing trade? Personally, I don't think so. I still think that it's a very kind of like it's still a risky ETF to invest in. And with that being said, it doesn't mean that you can't trade it. It just means that it's a little bit riskier. And if you're struggling to manage your risk, then this probably isn't going to be the best one for you. But if you're someone that works very well with kind of these dip buys and understand you're pretty good at covering profits when you know that it's a good time to sell, then this might be something that you might want to look into. And again, don't stress yourself. If you're simulation trading, just take time. It's going to take time. And I'm not just talking about maybe a couple days or a couple weeks. It might take a couple months. But with time and being consistent, this can definitely be something that you'll become more familiar with if you don't end up giving up, right? So I'm going to set a resistance, an ideal resistance. The reason I'm going to put it at $7.20 is because it tends to touch this price point most often. And again, I'm very conservative. I don't want to put it at like, what did it hit? Like 770 and hope that it hits that price point again. I'm going to set an alert if it breaks above this price point, just because I know that it's closer to being on the overbought side. So does that make sense? So I want to be alerted when it becomes more of a sell, so then I can remind our traders that, hey, DRIP is back in that sell position if I'm not actively myself taking a position, right? Now, when is it a good time to buy DRIP? Well, based on previous patterns, as long as it continues this, you can see that there is a support, so normally where it tends to bounce at around $6.40. Does this mean 100% that it's going to bounce here and that's not going to break below 640? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that it tends to not to, based on previous patterns, break below 640. So what I would like to see is that it had a pretty aggressive sell-off on Thursday and it kind of consolidated on Friday. Now that we've been giving it a couple days, based on previous patterns on when it had the sell-off, it took about 2 to 3 days for it to consolidate, and then on the 4th day, it was able to push up, right? And then back to that resistance level. So first thing you have to ask yourself is, what's the margin of profit that it has to offer? Well, from 640 to 720, it's a little bit over 12%, almost 13%. That's great. Now, is it a good time to buy, and when is it a good time to sell? What's really consolidating right around 660 to 680. You're going to see a lot of consolidation around that area, and that's what I would like to continue to see. So I would like to send an alert just to get the confirmation when it starts breaking certain resistance levels, when it breaks above 680, right? And if we're able to catch it from 680 to about 720, then that's about almost 6% potential for profit. Ask yourself, how many of you have been struggling to grow your account? How many of you, even with a 6%, let's not even say the full 6%, right? And this whole thing offers about almost 13%. But I'm saying within it, being patient, waiting for the overall reversal of confirmation. And again, this can be solely a day trade. I'm not talking about a short-term swing trade, nothing like that. I still label DRIP as a day trade because I don't like how risky it is in my eyes. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything to you. So from 680 to about 720, I see that about 5 to 6% potential. How many of you have struggled to grow your account, and how many of you guys would like to grow your account 2 to 5% on a weekly basis? Then what you need to do is you need to start breaking down stocks and start identifying these patterns and start identifying these margins of profit, and not just on one, not just DRIP. DRIP isn't just like, all right, I see 6%, boom, I'm gonna go for it. That's not how it works. You break down all the stocks in your watch list, all the stock, you should be, at least in my eyes, right, in my opinion, when you're just getting started, don't overwhelm yourself, but about maybe 20 to 30 minutes a week to start breaking down stocks minimum and becoming familiar with their patterns and see what you might want to, focus on for this upcoming week. So I want to see, all right, I just want to make sure, let's see, oh. It looks like you guys have a couple call-outs. I just wanted to see what everyone was saying. But overall, as you guys can see right now, what I would really like to see when it comes down intraday, I'm going to get a little bit closer. What I would like to see on the 5-day, 5-minute chart is, do you see that it's still consolidating right now? Again, it's not really showing signs of an uptrend pattern. What is it that it did? Again, trying to identify patterns. What is it that it did when it started to show signs of an uptrend pattern? What is it that it was doing that it's not doing right now? It was trading in between the middle and top VWAP. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit Lesson Library, you know that for my day trades, that's one of the most vital indicators that I focus on for understanding if something is actively trending up intraday. It doesn't mean that that's something that you have to stick to. I'm just sharing an indicator that I use to get a better understanding if something is actively trending up. So what I would like to see is for DRIP to start making higher highs and start breaking the 680 resistance and trading in between the middle VWAP, so that's that purple line, and this top VWAP. And for all those that are part of TechBit Solutions, I now started a Start Here section. So again, this is our free trading group, the Start Here section, right? All you have to go is, once you get accepted to our free Facebook group, and once you get accepted, once you join our free Discord chat, you click on the beginner section, and it talks to you about my criteria sheet and what it is that I like to focus on, right? And then it gives you access to a series of videos that are very easy to understand, kind of just to provide a little bit more structure than maybe my YouTube channel does, right? And again, the VWAP indicator is a great indicator, I think, that you can become a little bit more familiar with when understanding if something is actively trending up or trending down. So what I would like to see is for a DRIP to break above 680 and then to be trading in between the middle and top VWAP for me to even see value in it for a potential day trade. Easiest way to put it. I like the potential that it has to offer. I have my alert set. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if it ends up performing the way that I expect it to, great. Then I can consider taking a position. And if it does not perform the way that I expected it to, it doesn't matter, right? I ended up not taking a position because it didn't meet my criteria. And it's that simple, right? So this is another one. that I talked about on Friday. And the reason that I talked about this one late Friday was because I took a position on FRAC, and I didn't want, I waited till the market closed. I didn't want other individuals to take a position based on my opinion. Because I know if I go live and I show that I'm right about, I talked to the Learn Plan Profit group about taking a position, but if I go live with 170,000 subscribers, I don't want to run the risk of encouraging people to, just because I'm invested in something does not mean that you should be invested in something, right? The reason why is because FRAC is actively trending down. But the reason that I chose to take the risk of taking a position is due to the understanding of the dip buy potential. And that's a risk that I'm willing to take. But it's not a risk that I feel comfortable sharing to a lot of individuals that are just getting started. And I hope that you guys can understand why is it that I did that. Because again, I feel I believe as like when traders are just getting started, they're very easily influenced. And I wanted to minimize the opportunity for them to even consider the idea of taking a position in something that is actively trending down. By me taking this position, I'm taking on another form of risk, investing in something that's descending, which is not something that I like to do very often, but I saw the opportunity cost to be worth it. And I'm just going to share that with you guys. So the real margin, the reason that the pattern that I find so attractive on FRAC is this horizontal pattern, this consolidation. Do you see this? Between $14 to $16. And multiple times, when I talked about it to the Learn Plan Profit group, right? Multiple times, it sells off far below $14, sometimes even $12.84. Very aggressive sell-offs, right? That's not the important part to me. The important part is the recovery and how is it that I add more to my position as it recovers. And that's something that you need a little bit more experience for. And that's why I didn't want to put it on YouTube, because I don't feel like everyone that just watches me on YouTube is just there. For those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, have gone through my course and understand at least much more than kind of the average trader does. Again, it's something that I'm going to talk about on Monday, and I could be horribly wrong, right? This thing can shoot down potentially to $13, $12.50, and if it does, I'll end up having to cut losses and take a loss on it. But that's a risk that I was willing to take. So I just wanted to share my thought process with you guys, and also why I saw value in it. Although I do see that it dipped quite a bit, and it did sell off quite a bit, and last time it did get rejected by this EMA indicator, I do see a lot of reversal potential just based on patterns. And what I'm going to do is, you can see my series of alerts set right here. I'm also going to set my alert at the break below $13. And I want to follow up with this one on Monday. I want to see how it opens. But the thing that I found very attractive the day before it closed is that it really started to recover. I really started to show more signs of an uptrend pattern. It broke above the EMA, had a pretty solid push when it came down to overall demand. And I think it just came down to the overall understanding that market's about to close. They saw that it was, pretty oversold, and a lot of people find that to be very attractive. You can see that the RSI indicator is, pretty oversold. The MACD indicator is kind of what I found to be most attractive on this 180-day chart, and how it was showing signs of this potential reversal pattern. But again, you never want to solely rely on one indicator. This is just going to be one that I'm going to follow up with when it comes down to Monday and then the days that follow. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. I want to see if you guys have any questions about what it is that I just talked about. So the link on LPP don't work. So it doesn't work. Okay. What you can do is you can Google it. Learn Plan Profit. It'll be the first link that pops up. You guys can check it out there. Dreamers, what's up, Ricky? Building self-sufficient traders. Yep, that is the goal. So I'm still not gonna take. So right now I'm still not taking stock suggestions yet. Higher risk, higher payoff, 100%. And that kind of comes with everything, right? When something is a little bit riskier, usually, at least when it comes down to traditional markets, it tends to become the payoff can become a little bit greater as well. So, but it doesn't mean that it's worth it every single time. Ricky, is it too late to start trading at age 38? Heck no. We have investors, we have traders within Learn Plan Profit that are 70 plus years old. And the whole point is, real quick, I'm just going to go on a little tangent. The biggest thing is, first of all, if you're 38 years old, you probably have a job, right? You probably have a career, and that's great, right? I'm someone that's truly passionate and truly motivated by people like doing what it is that they love. And if you love your job, 100% all power to you. This could be something that you can treat as a hobby. This could be something that you can do something like on the side, and you're always learning new things. For someone like myself, people always ask the question like, why am I going back to like, ASU? Why is it like, I plan to, even after I graduate, to always be taking classes. I'm someone that always, I feel like would like to continue to learn new things. And if you're someone like that as well, that always wants to stay on top of things and kind of just wants to keep the mind going, then I think, and just investing in the stock market, opening a paper trading account and joining our free group, absolutely 100% for free. There is no reason why you can't get started. And I can reassure you, as you dive in to this market, the stock market, and you join not just my group, but there's a bunch of groups out there, right? There's a bunch of free groups out there. There's a bunch of paid groups out there. See what individuals you like to work with, what individuals you work with and understand the most, and work with them, right? If it's not me, then I can respect that. But altogether, there's no reason that you should not get started if you're motivated, and you get to surround yourself with such like-minded individuals, which altogether has led me to be able to make and close certain deals when it comes down to outside of the stock market because of the people that I've been able to meet within this trading community. I've been able to close real estate deals, which have made me tens of thousands of dollars because of the ability to network. And then that's the whole point. So take it on as maybe a hobby. Don't think about it as maybe a full-time income or anything like that. Become familiar with it. If you have a passion for it, great. If you don't, at least you're surrounding yourself and you're doing something that's productive and that's getting the mind going. I think that's a great way to kind of, maybe think about it. I hope that it's not, too far-fetched or something that, that you find unrealistic. But yeah, we'd love to have you both for TechBud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit. 38, bro, yeah, you're prime. All right, you can rent a car. I can't. That was ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Right? You have to be like 25. Yeah. All right. All right. So I'm going to be talking about this one real quick. This is UGAS, and the reason that I want to talk about this one real quick is because of this, again, very horizontal pattern that it's been showing. Let me right-click this and extend drawing to the right. Let me right-click this and extend to the right. There we go. Boom. Again, we've talked about UGAS multiple times. We've traded UGAS and DGAS are one of the most common ETFs that I trade. If you don't like them, please don't trade them. If you don't understand the patterns, please don't trade them. Please don't trade them, right? Easiest way that I can put it. Do you guys see how my alert is set here at the break of 64? Do you see how that's where the EMA line is at? That's what I would like to do. It's consolidating right around $62. That's normally where it tends to consolidate. The MACD indicator is starting to try to curve back in. And then there's this margin of profit from about $62 to $68, 9.69%, almost 10%. In reality, that's not really the most important part. I want to invest in something when it's actively trending up. And that's when it breaks above $64 to the resistance at about 68. Let's say I'm going to be extremely conservative and not sell at 68, but sell at 67. So from 64 to about $67, that's a little bit over 4.68%. So let's say 4.5%. That's the margin of profit that UGAS has to offer conservatively and consistently within the past couple of weeks. If you understand the pattern, great. If you don't understand it, then no worries. Simply do not trade it. So I feel like that was a breakdown within itself. If it breaks the pattern, how do you know when there's a break of pattern? If it drops below $62 and actively starts making lower lows, not just pops below it, right? But continues to make lower lows and continues to sell off, and that would be a more obvious break of pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert just because, anything can happen, right? It doesn't matter if the pattern was consistent, anything can happen. So if you guys want to look at it at the 20-day 1-hour chart, it might be a little bit easier for you to see, and you can kind of go, or there's a little bit more data for you to go off of. But again, I think that it offers pretty decent potential. If you do as well, great. If you don't, no worries, no hard feelings, no need to trade it. So LABU or LABD, these are a series of ETFs that I've been trading for quite some time. LABU has been actively trending up, but recently broke below this EMA line. So one of two things. I want to follow up with this one. I don't want to say which one I'm going to be choosing to invest in because as of right now, LABU is starting to show signs of a potential recovery. And if it breaks above, you guys can see my alert set right here, above 102, then I think that LABU has the potential to continue to make higher highs. And that's why I'm going to set my 2 alerts right here. One at the break above 101 and one at the break above 105. Now, it also has the potential to start making lower lows. And if I see that it gets rejected by this EMA indicator, right, and then it starts to get rejected and starts to descend, then that would give me the understanding that this is now going to start pulling back, right? And it might get rejected to maybe $95, $90, maybe to the SMA indicator, and that would be in favor of LABD, which is the inverse ETF, which is the one that's more actively descending. And again, this one's more risky, obviously, with that descending pattern. So we want to maybe focus more on day trades than on swing trades. Do you guys understand that correlation? Because it's more of a swing, more of a descending pattern, it might be a little bit more attractive and less risky. That when we do see that this one is starting to recover, to understand the overall direction of this ETF, and it's down. So with that understanding, great. If it starts to show intraday opportunity, great. We can take advantage of that intraday. And how do we identify that? Intraday above the middle and top VWAP, and when it gets rejected from LABU. But if it starts to show signs of a continuous descending pattern, I would personally stay away. That's the easiest way to put it. There's actually this one, and then I'm going to talk about one more, and then I'm all yours. We're already approaching 30 minutes. So thank you. How do you guys feel about this guy is a freaking beauty? My goodness. Wait, are you saying that I'm beautiful, or are you saying that the charts are beautiful? Is his mic ringing? No. What's going on, Terry? You just turned 50? My man. What are your thoughts on TradeStation? I personally have never used TradeStation. I don't know anything about them. But maybe watching a couple of reviews might be on YouTube. Might be pretty useful. Or maybe some Google forums. You're a beauty bud. Oh, Ricky is mine. Go find your own guy. What's going on, Chris? What's up? What's up? All right. So do you short Ricky? I do not short. Oh. Sweet. I appreciate that, Angel. Really do. Angel Santiago. I like that last name. Nice. Real quick, I'm going to break down two more stocks and 2 more ETFs, and then I'm done kind of breaking these down. So again, another horizontal pattern. Right now, DSLV. We talked about this one on Friday or on Thursday because of how oversold it is. Do you see this horizontal pattern where it normally bounces at around this area of $23 and then this overall resistance at around $25? First, also understand that the pattern has been pretty consistent, but look at the direction of this SMA. I'm just trying to be as conservative as possible, and I'm trying to speak kind of my mind. This SMA line is kind of descending. That is kind of pointing down, right? So it's kind of offering almost a descending pattern. So that is why I want to wait for extra confirmation for something like DSLV, for it to break above the EMA line, and not only just break above the EMA line, that's not the most important part, but for the overall direction of the EMA line. So if you were to put an arrow at the end of the EMA line, what direction would it be pointing? And I don't want to invest in it until it starts pointing up. So even I can set an alert at the break above $24, right? We could see that the RSI is there. We could see that the MACD indicator is there. We could see that the overall purchase price is there. Now we just need for DSLV to give us that confirmation. And until that confirmation, I do not feel comfortable taking a position. If I do take a position, then I'm taking on just a higher form of risk. It doesn't mean that I'm going to end up red. It doesn't mean that I'm going to end up green. It just means that I'm kind of hoping for the best. So I don't really like to hope. I like to at least plan for something, or at least get some form of confirmation, or that the patterns are giving me some indication of some direction. And as of right now, DSLV is not doing that. So again, the inverse of DSLV is USLV. So if we see that DSLV continues to make lower lows, then maybe we might want to focus our attention on over to USLV. But the reason that I'm talking about DSLV is because it's more at the support. It's showing signs of potential consolidation, right? It sold off, pushed up, sold, consolidating at above 23, and then getting rejected by the resistance. But I think within the next couple of days, it might start to show swing trade potential or reversal potential. And let's be conservative with this one at around, let's say 23.70 to the resistance at about $25. That's about 5.4%. If you find that attractive, great. If you don't trade it. That's simple, right? Very, very simple patterns. I think very easy to understand, and how to kind of wait for the confirmation. So someone asked me, or there was an individual within my Instagram direct messages, which I do appreciate you guys reaching out to me via Instagram. The link is down below. If you guys don't follow me, I have 29.4K followers on Instagram. First of all, there's a bunch of people that are impersonating me on Facebook and on Instagram. I only invest in the stock market and I trade ETFs. But I never ask for personal information. I never ask for money. I will never trade for you, and I never tell you where to buy and where to sell. So if there's people reaching out to you, asking you those questions or asking you to like give them money or something like that, or that I'm going to trade for you, 100% not me. There's people saying that, or individuals impersonating me saying that I invest in like Forex and binary options. Not me. I've never traded those. So just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that. But I do appreciate you guys messaging me via Instagram. I just would encourage you, if possible, just to keep all the direct messages for stock stuff within our Discord chat. So you guys can direct message me, and I catch up with them twice a day within 24 hours. So by far the best way to reach out to me. But overall, JNUG, when looking at the overall direction of JNUG, let's make sure that we take into consideration the overall direction of /GC. And what we can see here is that the SMA indicator is starting to show more signs of, it was showing signs of this like kind of peak formation, right? Kind of as a resistance. And now there's been so much consolidation around this area that it's almost showing signs of this break of pattern, no longer being rejected by this SMA indicator, which is in favor of JNUG, right? So if we start seeing this thing to start to recover, then that's going to be in favor of JNUG and not JDST, which is the inverse ETF. So I'm going to put JNUG as one of the ETFs that I'm going to be watching, and not just because of that, but do you guys see this consolidation? How consistent this has been? I could have traded just this for the past couple of weeks and could have cleared about, when it comes down to, because of how often I could have traded JNUG and JDST for the past 2 weeks, and I probably could have cleared over 20% on a weekly basis. If you understand the support and you understand the resistance and where it normally bounces and where it normally peaks out at, think about how, as of right now, right, if JNUG is at the very bottom, then that means that JDST is probably at its resistance, right? And this one would be a little bit more of an understanding, like it would make more sense on why this would be time to sell closer to 51. And when it's closer to 48, it would make more sense on why it's a better time to buy, right? Just going based off previous patterns. And yes, it might have taken 1 or 2 times for it to do this before you could have identified that pattern. But look at all this time that it's done this, right? Multiple times. And again, now we're given that same opportunity again. Does it mean 100% that it has to do it? Again, just being super conservative. No, it does not. It does not mean that it has to bounce at this area. And that's why confirmation is so important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert if there's a break of pattern. So a break below 1380, I'm just going to follow up with it and set an alert. And I'm also going to set an alert if it breaks above $14, as I would like to be alerted if JNUG starts to trend above $14. Does this thing offer huge margins? No, it offers anywhere from about 2 to 3%. And for those that have been struggling to grow your account, just focus on patterns that are consistent, that you understand, and forget about all that like just pump and dump BS. If you're really trying to grow your account, understand why you're doing what you're doing. For all those people that get lucky sometimes and go into a momentum stock and it shoots up 10, 20%, I'm happy for you, but do you actually feel like you understand? Do you actually believe you understand what just happened? And I can almost reassure you that 80 to 90% of those people that made that money on something that pushed up based on momentum cannot really tell you what happened, but just know that they made money. And that's because they got lucky. And this isn't a market where you get lucky for a very long period of time. So that is why I've made kind of like my whole YouTube channel to revolve around being conservative and just trying to focus on consistency. Does it mean that you're not going to take red trades? No, of course you're going to take losses. Does it mean that you're not going to make mistakes? Of course you're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes every single day, right? But it just means that you should just try to focus more on taking investments and positions on patterns that you understand. Because if you understand them, you'll understand the difference of a break of pattern. So kind of when you should potentially cut losses, or when it's something that's just pulling back and it's just a natural kind of characteristic or trend or pattern of whatever it is that you are trading. And that's the whole idea of this. Become familiar with what you invest in so you understand the action that you should take. So you understand when it's a good time to sell, or when you understand that, hey, maybe it's not performing the way that I expected it to. Maybe I should cover profits, right? Or cut losses. Very simple breakdown. So those are the 5 that I kind of wanted to talk about. 6. So I forgot, I added JNUG to it. So JNUG, DRIP, FRAC, UGAS, LABU, and DSLV. DSLV, as of right now, showing the least amount of confirmation just yet. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, JNUG offers the least amount of percentage potential return, but with the highest form of consistency. So, yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Well, that's a really good tip. So Don is actually one of our advanced traders within Learn Plan Profit. So I do want to thank you again for tuning in, Don. So he pretty much talks about focusing on, because there's inverse ETFs. So like I talked about JNUG and JDST. So when one goes up, the other one goes down. What he's talking about is he's noticed a lot of people sometimes take a position on one ETF, and then when it doesn't perform that they expect the way that they expected it to, they go to the inverse ETF, and then they end up taking a loss on that one as well. So again, just focus. Three simple steps: understand the pattern, understand the direction of that ETF, and understand if it's a good deal or if it's a good or if it's a time to sell. So if you can understand the overall direction, if it's a good deal, and the pattern itself, you should have an understanding if you should invest in it or not, if the opportunity cost is even worth it or not. Opinion on new stock trade. I have not used it myself. I know that there's a lot of reviews online. I'm only familiar with TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and then the Robinhood platform. And I think I also have looked into Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab, and then E-Trade. Yeah, but those are the most reputable platforms out there. I've seen a lot of people talk about SureTrader, but yeah. I like that. Okay, and so thank you, Ricky. You turned my portfolio around. So I do appreciate you saying that you turned my portfolio around with nothing more than your consistent stress on the basics. But again, it's not me. I cover this every single day, and we still have a bunch of people that still continue to drain their accounts. But it's the discipline that you've been able to implement to your trading that has gotten you to this. So I do appreciate you, trying to give me credit, but it's all of your hard work. Like, I'm not the one that's investing the hours and the time to understand this for you. I'm doing it for myself. So you need to make sure that you pat yourself on the back and remind yourself that I'm here to kind of just provide an understanding of my approach, but it doesn't mean that it's the most effective for everyone. So for you to find this form of success as well is something that's very, very rewarding, right? And I want to make sure that you understand how amazing that is. I like that. Okay, was busy showing houses this weekend. Hopefully you end up selling a couple properties. I like that. Not a fan of the Charles Schwab platform. Seems dated. I agree. It's kind of like the Fidelity platform. Yeah, so ZHCs, can you talk about your setup? I'd be more than happy to make a video on my setup. I just didn't find that to be a very educational video. I'm probably going to make one of those videos of how my thing is set up here whenever I have kind of nothing to talk about, if that's okay. You're still my hero, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. So Emilio Rodriguez Fitness is saying, what is your favorite screener setup for swing? So I used to scan for stocks pretty often, but now and again, this is not just me talking about it and trying to I literally can't thank the Learn Plan Profit and TechBook Solutions group enough. It's because, again, I'm obsessed with what it is that I do. And that's the easiest way to put it. So why don't I scan for stocks? Because I'm responding to messages. I dedicate probably 3 to 4 hours every single day, minimum, responding to Discord messages. It's me and Justin. Justin has his own account, and it's Justin and I responding to Discord messages all day. And the reason that we do that is to assist you guys, to make sure that we provide quality information, that we stay relevant, right? We don't have a customer support team, no matter how many followers we have. And also the exposure to stocks that I receive. And that is my job. right? That is my job as the person who owns TechBud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit, to gather all this information, use my filter for criteria that I have, and then share the quality information that I come across. And the thing that I have found so effective is both in the Learn Plan Profit group. If you go to the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat, for all those that are enrolled in the course, you guys can make your way on over. Actually, this is TechBuds. So TechBuds has a watch list section. So it's not as structured, which is something that I'm going to work on. And this is exactly how it should be within that it is within Learn Plan Profit. So if you make your way on over to the group alerts for Learn Plan Profit, you can see that everyone posts everything in a ticker symbol format. So everything's structured, and all we ask people to do is on a weekly basis, just pick 1 to 2 stocks that you want to share. That is it. And if you want to be fancy, then maybe share, a graph, right? Doesn't mean that you actually have to, but just to provide a little bit more insight. So again, this is a huge resource on why, let's say if I'm running out of stocks to potentially invest in, instead of scanning for stocks, because we see value in almost the same way, then I go down this group alert, or I go through the watch list for TechBuds, and then I come across a bunch of stocks that are being called out. And then that is why it's so important for me to do my own technical analysis to see if I even see value in any of the stocks that are being called out. So I used to scan for stocks, but that was when I was kind of doing it more on my own. Now, because we have a team, again, that's the power of networking. So, hey Ricky, great course. How do we know when you add or update the info? Oh, Sandra, that's a really good question, and I actually announce it every time that I do, and I forgot to announce it. So if you go to the chart and study sections, I actually uploaded a video about 2 new videos about a week ago talking about entry points and exit points, providing a little bit more in-depth information, and also about the time frames and how is it that you can use a series of different time frames while trading, and how it reacts to a series of different indicators. So yeah. Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you again. That's really cool to hear. All right. Let me go ahead, and I just don't want to take too much time for those that are calling out different stocks. I'm going to dedicate the next 15 minutes for just strictly call outs, right? And again, this is what I'm going to focus on, is because we have a large number of individuals that are just getting started. I want to make sure that they meet 2 criteria. And if I see that it doesn't meet it right away, I'm not going to invest time to breaking it down. It has to be starting to show signs or actively trending up above the 180-day 4-hour EMA. That's that blue line. As well as it cannot be a strong descending pattern. If it is, I'm not even going to talk about it. And I don't mean that to disrespect you in any way. It might show a lot of potential, or it might be maybe something that might be amazing. But the reason why is we have too many new traders, and I don't want to be encouraging anyone to invest in something that's actively trending down or still not showing signs of an uptrend pattern. So I hope that you guys can respect that. So let me go ahead and do this. I think I updated the description for this YouTube video. I don't know if you guys want to refresh the page when you guys see this, just to make sure that everything is updated. So for all those that are having trouble getting access to the Learn Plan Profit lesson library, the first link should be there. So again, it's that first link. If you guys want to check it out, it's that first link in the description. So you guys just have to refresh the page. All right, let's do this. All right, Dylan, I've seen your call out quite a bit of times. Thank you again for being so patient. So ENPH. Okay, I definitely see why it is that you see value in this one. It's been actively trending up, right? It's kind of starting to consolidate. We've talked about this one within Learn Plan Profit a couple days ago. It's still actively trending down. It is getting very close to the SMA line, where normally it tends to bounce at. Doesn't mean 100% that it has to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert if it drops below the EMA line. I'm also going to set an alert if it starts to show signs of an uptrend pattern. I think that this is a great one to potentially look out for, and I'm going to put it under my pending reversals. So ENPH. So I have a separate watch list for stocks that are, almost reversing, almost showing signs of an uptrend pattern, and as of right now, that would fall under that category. So thank you again for that. And again, make sure that you copy whatever your call out is, because there's so many that are being called out that I might not get to them. So yeah, you might just have to reshare it. So make sure that you copy all of it. I do apologize if you have not. Okay, so I'm asking myself, is AMRN a good deal right now? So looking at previous patterns of where it normally tends to bounce at, even around this area right here, around $3, and where it normally tends to peak out at, right around maybe around 360. Asking myself, it just broke this pattern of above the SMA indicator, and it's showing signs of, of an ongoing uptrend. I could see that the volume is probably pretty low. Yeah, I don't personally find that volume to be very attractive, especially with how my account size. I usually tend to take $20,000 to $30,000 worth of a position, and it just wouldn't be something that I would feel comfortable investing in. That's just my honest opinion. I also see, I've noticed a very common pattern where when something breaks above the SMA line, kind of like it did back here, it pulls back and then gets rejected, and it either can bounce out around the SMA line and continue that uptrend pattern, or it just then continues to get rejected. So I would expect somewhat of a sell-off pretty soon, and I don't find this to be a good deal. So easiest way that I can break it down. I really do appreciate the call-out, Ken, though. Lowell, calling out DVAX. So DVAX is still, so I do see why it is that you're calling it out. It offers a very horizontal pattern. Easiest way, again, this one would be under pending reversals. I would set an alert for the break above $16, and I wouldn't take a position at 16. I would still give it a couple, or give it maybe a couple days. It does offer this margin from $16 to $19. We've broken this one down multiple times, but a more common resistance is around $18. So I would kind of aim for that one, just to be a little bit more realistic. But I can definitely see why someone would see value in this one. It just isn't actively trending up. So if it breaks above it, then great. But until it does, yeah, I have this one under my pending reversals already. So Lowell, thank you again for that call out. GES. Okay, we've talked about this one already. I have my alert set at the break above $23. I did see the potential for an overall recovery. It's doing a pretty good job. What I would like to continue to see is for it to hold above this SMA indicator. Because of the very aggressive sell-off, it had a pretty consistent, uptrend pattern before this sell-off due to its earnings. So what I would do is I would either wait for a sell-off and see if it bounces out around the SMA or the EMA indicator for a potential entry. And if you want to day trade it, great. Make sure that it's trading in between the middle and top VWAP, and also set the alerts for the break above $23, which would then put it more in that swing trade kind of potential. So great call out again. Thank you, Angel, for that. So as of right now, I see USO showing more signs of a peak formation. This SMA line is starting to show more signs of it kind of like peaking out, right? It is showing signs of a support at around $13, so that does make sense. But if you also get a little bit closer, it's been making lower lows, right? And that's not something that I find very attractive. So if it doesn't break above 1340, then unfortunately, I think that it's most likely going to continue to descend. And I'm going to set my alerts for the break below $13, as I do think that it might continue to sell off. So just something to take into consideration. And again, it's good to look at the overall direction of the company, but also to look a little bit closer and to see the overall patterns. And if it's been making lower lows, that's not showing signs of a pretty good, just maybe pattern that you might want to invest in. So what's going on, Chad? So MBI. Okay. Brad, this is, or Chad, we do see somewhat of a resistance right around, what is that, around 950. I see a little bit more. I don't find this to be a good deal. That's the easiest way for me to put it. I see that it's very overextended. The RSI can validate that. The MACD indicator can validate that, where it normally tends to peak out at, right? So with that understanding, I could see that this is definitely more on the overbought side. I would wait a little bit more for a sell-off, and based on previous patterns, when it sells off, it doesn't just bounce sometimes at the SMA line. It takes some time, it consolidates, breaks above the EMA, and then starts to recover. And it does that quite often. So I would set the alerts, and I would view this more as a sell than a buy. So just something to take into consideration. But I really do appreciate the call out, Chad. Galt. All right. And again, guys, just a friendly reminder, everything has to be called out in the ticker symbol format. So Galt Therapeutics, or what is it? Yeah. Definitely showing. So and I want to get your 2 cents. I want to be kind of interactive with you guys. viewing GALT, G-A-L-T, looking at the overall pattern, if I could view this as a resistance at around $6 and I could kind of view the support at around $4 where it normally tends to bounce at, why would I maybe not consider this to be a good buy right now? Can you guys give me some feedback on like, okay, is GALT a good investment? Yes, tell me why. And if it's not a good investment, tell me why as well. Give me a reason for why it might not be the best time to buy at the current price point that it's at right now. Because again, we're deal hunters, right? We want to make sure that we get everything for a good deal, which then we can sell for a profit. High RSI, not a good deal, overextended. Yep. And the reason that I'm doing this is so you guys can do this with me, so you guys can see what it is that I'm seeing. Does it make sense though, right? It makes sense on why this is overextended, right? It's not a good deal. Yes, it can continue to uptrend, but it offers more potential for loss than for profit. So with that understanding, then this potentially probably isn't the best time to take this position. So as of right now, I would label this more as a sell than a buy, and I would start setting my alerts for kind of a sell-off on this. So I'm going to set my alert when it breaks below $5, as it would be closer to that $4 support. So I'm going to set my alert back there. I'm going to set my alert. You guys must hate me, all those that just called something out, because all your tickers just got pushed up. I do apologize for that. All right. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty good question. Rodrigo, I think that would be almost a video for itself. So Rodrigo is asking, hey Ricky, what do you think about stocks that have not been an IPO for that long? So pretty much stocks that have recently been IPO'd, right? Recently just established in the stock market and don't have maybe 180 days, don't have, a whole year of patterns to go off. So it's very difficult to understand the overall direction of that specific stock, ETF, or whatever it is, right? So with that understanding, it wouldn't suit me as an investor. I'm a technical trader, which means I have to go based off previous patterns. And if I don't have really much to go off of, then I'm probably not going to be making the best decision. So that would be more of an investment based on fundamentals and what I believe or understand that company has to offer. So it's a little bit different. So I do appreciate that question. All right, so ticker symbol I. So I see ticker symbol I to be, again, more on the overbought side, right? Definitely overextended. I don't see this one to be a good deal. I also do see some forms of potential manipulation. The volume was very low. All of a sudden, it really started to pick up. I don't really like that. And it also is offering kind of signs of a peak formation. So I do see potential for a pretty massive sell-off. So I would personally stay away from something like this. But I do appreciate the call out. What's going on, Edgar? Thank you again for tuning in. APRN. So APRN has been showing more signs of a descending pattern. Looking at the one-year analysis, yep, we can definitely see why it is that, and also the SMA line for what is here. It's showing signs of, approaching that SMA line where that is at right now. So it makes sense on why it might get rejected at where it's at right now. So I definitely see this to be more on the overbought side. It's not a good deal right now, and it's definitely showing signs of a descending pattern. So I would personally stay away just based off of that pattern. So ticker symbol SM. Okay, so it bounced at this SMA line. It's showing signs. This one's a little bit more volatile for my taste. Okay, wow, that's actually pretty attractive. Okay, so it's definitely starting to recover, but okay. Do you see this price point right here, right around $24? This consolidation, this pullback that it had, it validated 24 as a support. This might be acting as a resistance. So let's set the alert at like 24.10 to see if we can get a break above that. And if we can, great. Or maybe wait for another sell-off and see if it bounces right around this SMA indicator. So I'm going to set my alert both on top and below. Just, again, preparing it and trying to follow up with it. I'm going to add this to my watch list. I'm going to add this to my, this would be more of a swing trade. So awesome. Thank you again for that call out. I really do appreciate it. So alert set at the break above 24. So if it continues to show signs of an uptrend, great. I do see potential resistance at around 25, 26, and then maybe 27. But overall, I do see a potential for a sell-off. the most attractive pattern that I would like to capitalize on this one would be a sell-off here, bounce at the SMA, and then pushing right back up to the resistance. I would like to capitalize on that consolidation. What's going on, Bobby? My guy. Okay, Bobby, so this one is showing more signs of a sell-off. It's not showing signs of a good deal. Again, I'm going based off of technical, so if you know something that I don't, then feel free to share it with the group. But as of right now, very aggressive descending pattern. It would make sense on why it would get rejected at the current price point of where it's at right now. The RSI and the MACD are pretty overextended, so I would personally like to stay away. Yes, that I agree. So 1% per trade, I like that. Finish 5 green trades in a row, slow and steady, but good. And that's what it's all about. It's all about growing your account, understanding how to grow your account. So actually understanding that the trades that you're taking and that you're not just getting lucky, that you're able to call out those patterns. So I'm really happy to hear that. Marco, my guy, what's going on? How's New York? All right, Marco, so Morgan Stanley, I do see why this one is being called out. I do see kind of a break of pattern. Do you see this overall SMA indicator, how it started to show signs of an uptrend and it would normally act as a support? It's kind of breaking that pattern, right? And you can see that this overall kind of peak formation of this SMA line, it's kind of showing more signs of a kind of like peak, almost think about it as a mountain, right? And it's showing more signs of a sell-off, especially with where it's at right now. It looks like it might still continue to sell off and maybe make lower lows. So if you do see value in MS in Morgan Stanley and in this descending pattern, you can still make money off of it, but it's understanding when to be able to buy the dips and where to be able to sell for a profit. So that's more of the approach that I would take with something like this, or set the alerts at the break above 53 and see if it continues to ascend. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to set my alert for the break below 50 so I could follow up with it and see where if I can even catch it at the very bottom. So great call out, Marco. Let's see. All right. We just broke down quite a bit of stocks. All right, I'm going to do 3 more. So no more call outs, please, after this. So Alec, you are the last call out that we're going to be doing. So again, I do apologize. So yeah, Alec is going to be the last call out. I hope that you guys can understand that and respect that. We just have to kind of wrap things up. And yeah, you guys are still going. Guys, come on. Yeah, but okay. You guys crack me up. Okay, so MRNS. Okay, this is a pharmaceutical company. I definitely see this to be more on the overextended side. RSI is definitely showing to be more overextended. It looks like it's had quite a bit of momentum and a really solid ascending uptrend pattern. This would kind of be more of like a FOMO, right? Kind of fear of missing out. It continues to show signs of an uptrend, but you can definitely see how it's peaking and showing, starting to show signs more of it being more at the overbought side based on previous patterns. So not only just based on previous patterns here, but it's approaching a previous resistance levels at around 850 as well. I would kind of be more on edge. There's more potential for loss on this one than there's for profit. So because of that, even for a swing trade or even for a potential day trade, if you want to treat it as a day trade and you think that you can buy the dips and you can identify that, then great. But other than that, for a swing trade, I would consider staying away. CL, what is that? Okay, so CLSD had a pretty aggressive sell-off. I personally don't like this one because of how low volume it has. And because of that, and it looks like it had pretty solid manipulation. Yeah, it does show pretty good dip buy potential if that pattern is relevant. So I'd set the alerts for the break above $10 and we can follow up with it then. This might be something to look forward to maybe for this upcoming week, and also set the alerts for about the break above 1050. But other than that, I don't like how volatile it is. It's just not my style. It's very risky. Obviously, with high risk can come high reward, but it's just not something that I find to be very realistic or consistent for a long period of time. Alrighty, so Angel calling out ORQL. I definitely see this to be more on the overbought side. Way overextended, far from the SMA line, not a good deal. It tends to bounce right around the SMA line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert for when it starts to pull back, and that would make a little bit more sense. So I'm going to set a couple of alerts just so I can get reminded. So as of right now, I just don't see too much value in this one. OX, hold on. AXON. I do apologize. Oh, completely. I don't even need to break this one down. So I do apologize, Skelly. I would completely stay away. Obviously, huge forms of manipulation. You could see very easily how can I understand something is being manipulated. Look at the volume. You see these volume bars. You could barely see them, and then all of a sudden, boom. That is just not something that I want to be a part of. They're probably paying for marketing. They're probably paying for this form of manipulation and promotion, and I just don't want to be a part of it. These are 100% signs of pump and dumps. ATRA. Okay, so ATRA doing a lot of consolidation right around $42. Overall resistance, I could see around 50. That's a little bit more of a conservative resistance. So if it bounces at around this area and continues to hold, first of all, let's just make sure that we're very realistic with ourselves. The SMA line is starting to show kind of signs of a peak formation, so let's understand that. There might be a break of pattern soon. It doesn't mean that it's going to be now, but there might be soon. It looks like it's trying to bounce it here, so I would follow up with the MACD indicator and the RSI. If it begins to recover, great. And then for the break above the EMA indicator, I think that would be pretty nice to see, and also for the break above here. So good call out. This would not be something that I would personally invest in, but it makes sense on why you would see value in that pattern. And then Alec, my man, so BECN. Alec, this is a descending pattern. I can't even break this one down because you broke our rules. Now I have to go and break someone else's stock down. I'm going to break... all right, so I'm going to break down CAR. Okay, so it's still descending. It's still making lower lows. I've broken this one down before, so this is Avis Budget Group Incorporated. Okay. I need to start seeing, again, it's been doing some forms of like potential reversal, and then it continues to get rejected. I'm going to set an alert for the break above 40, and I want to wait a little bit more for a confirmation on this one. So this would be under pending reversal, and this would be, oh, it's already under my pending reversal. Sweet. I like that. All right. CCE. This one's been consolidating forever. Yep. Right. So what is the link for the TechBuds Discord? So all you have to do is, if you guys haven't done so already, the link should be, I need to close this out. The link should be the third link. So it's the third link in the description. I don't even know why I have this Bitcoin thing. Oh shoot, I have to erase that Bitcoin thing. But it's the third link in the description. Once you get accepted to the Facebook group, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to see this pinned post. So once you get accepted, you will see this pinned post, and there's this group chat link. This is where you get access to the TechBud Solutions Discord chat. And then for all those that are interested in learning more about the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, then there's the link right here. Also, that's the first link in this description for this YouTube video. So also, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm giving you guys 24-hour access on my story. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or just go to my profile, you guys can click on my story and see that I made a post. You guys just have to go through them, and then you can swipe up, and it'll take you straight to our Discord chat. So yeah. So I see your... Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not doing anything to... Oh, I do see your callouts right here, I think. Yeah, IQ, right? Yeah, I'm not too sure if it's just a little bit delayed. But yeah, that's the whole point of having, what's it called? The Discord chat. So this is like more for fun, right? You guys are tuning in live. You guys kind of get to hear and see my thought process of breaking things down. But for all those that are part of TechBud Solutions, you guys are more than welcome. If you guys see value in something, direct message me. Direct message me within the Discord chat. That would be the best way to get in contact with me. And that's really what I'm going to invest most of my time today. Is I want to be breaking down stocks for you guys. I'm going to invest about 1 hour after this. Actually, I'm going to get dinner after this live stream, and then I'll invest about 1 hour. I'm going to be here with Justin and the guys, and I'm just going to be breaking down stocks, and I'm going to be giving you guys my own 2 cents. So just because I didn't break it down on this live stream doesn't mean that you can't reach out to me. So just please, just for my time, please keep your call out in the ticker symbol call out format, and please keep it under 150 characters. And that is really just it. So I want to thank you guys all. So for all, yeah, if that's not too much to ask, if this is your guys' first time tuning in, or if you guys are regular, if it's not too much to ask, we'd really appreciate the thumbs up. Sunday stock, it's honestly like I kind of get like anxiety, and I normally don't get anxiety, but for this Sunday stock tech, it's such a like kind of huge event that I think a lot of people within our trading community kind of look forward to, and it's something that I look forward to every single week. So. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. What I did want to let you guys know is that I am going to be investing a little bit more time to the TechBud Solutions trading community. We do private live streams now once a week. So I just want to make sure that all of you guys know that are part of TechBud Solutions, that I'm going to be working with you guys a little bit closer. I'm going to be asking for feedback on how I can make that group a little bit more effective, as well as for those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit. I'm going to be working on a bunch of new videos that I'm going to be uploading to make the course even that much more effective. And we've been doing just fine anyways. So last week we had, when I was over there in Miami, I had a $2,400 day. So definitely it was a pretty solid week. But again, we just want to keep it consistent. For all those that don't know what the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library is, if you guys want to invest like 30 seconds, be sure to click that first link down in the description. They get access for a lifetime to that Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, and they get to watch me trade live every single day. So it's kind of like this, but I'm actually trading, and they get to ask me questions in real time, and I break down stocks for them every single day. So it's at market open, and we do that for about 1 hour. So how's that cold, bro? You look a lot better. Thank you. My roommates were making fun of me because I went live on Instagram, and they're like, dang, Ricky, you look like crap. So I do feel a lot better. My eyes, they're not pink anymore. I don't have that eye infection anymore. So Michael Frey is saying, are you saying UGAS or UGAS? Trust me, that's a joke that we have within TechBud. Everyone roasts me because I trade the same things like every single week. And if you guys think that that's obnoxious or that I'm very repetitive, I do apologize. But I'm going to invest in what makes me money and what I understand. And I'm pretty consistent. I do pretty well for myself. And if that's not something that you're okay with, then you don't have to follow, right? But if it's something that you want to become a little bit more familiar with, then I'm here to assist you and be a part of your success as well. So I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done just by even investing time to watching this video. If you guys can like this video, great. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys want to share it with someone that you think that can benefit, that would be amazing. And that is really just it. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to direct message me within the TechBud Solutions Discord chat or within the Learn, Plan, Profit Discord chat, as I would love to continue to provide tools and resources for you all that make it that much more effective. And I do want to, I am going to be providing an update on the applications that we're working on for all those that are part of TechBud Solutions. And obviously, the applications and the apps themselves are going to be all for free. So, yeah, so I'm not going to go to Cane's today, though. I'm going to go eat, I think, some sushi with the guys. I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier, and I've been trying to go to the gym a little bit more consistently. So just trying to be a little bit more active and taking care of myself a little bit more. So, yeah, thank you guys again. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your Sunday. We'll see all those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit at Market Open tomorrow. And let's actually do a little promotion. So for all those that want to sign up for LPP, I'll give you guys, so if you guys want to use promo code LPP 2018, so LPP 2018, they'll save you a couple dollars. So for all those that want to sign up today, I think that coupon has about 20 more spots. Yeah, feel free to sign up if you guys want to. If you don't, 100% understand. So that's LPP 2018. You guys just have to add that at checkout before checking out. So yeah, thank you guys again. Like always, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.